all the table games, all at Pearl River Resort. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app and the zone1059.com. Somebody said, well, Mississippi State can't rebuild on our Mac Hike Auto Group text line. Well, sure they can.
Yeah, what's that mean?
That's dumb. Look, I get other fans are going to say that. Arizona State was able to rebuild. Vanderbilt was able to rebuild. Duke was able to rebuild. You got athletes all over the place in the Sun Belt in a 4-state area. All over the place. You know, you got to go find the right 10 guys. You know, you're going to sign and or transfer 40, right, maybe plus, you know. But you got to find the right 10 guys, sprinkle them on both sides of the ball. You've been competitive at times this year when you shouldn't have been. You're playing a true freshman QB who's never played. Of course you can rebuild, but you got to get serious about it. You got to go you've got to put some experience around Levy. That should have already been done, but you have to put some experience around Levy. As Steve Robertson said yesterday, Greg Byrne, they were outliers, both of them 36 years old when Greg Byrne hired Dan Mullen. But Greg, and Dan didn't like it, but Greg made sure to explain to Dan that he was going to surround himself with experienced coaches like Les Koenig, Mark Hudspeth, and Carl Torbush, which was smart. A little bit of a year behind, but you've got to go get that level of experience around Levy. I don't care which spots other than defensive coordinator, although you do need to beef up your defensive side. Some of your assistants are weak too. So you don't have to move on Matt Barnes. He's a good football coach. And you could probably upgrade in one spot on the offensive side, but there needs to be a sense of urgency. And the defensive coordinator position should already be getting looked at. I mean, that there should have already been 15 meetings on that and another X, and you should be able to move right after the Egg Bowl. You're going to lose, but you've got time. You're not going to play anymore. You got to recruit. You got to portal, and you've got to upgrade your staff. If you don't upgrade your staff, you don't want to win. It's that simple. And people will find other things to do. The beach, the mountains, their beautiful hunting camp, their farm, or their back patio this day and age, and their grill, and so on. Speaking of the Out of Bounds show and ESPN 105.9 The Zone, y'all know for 20 years we've been talking about the experience of grilling and a good beverage and putting, some ribs on the grill or smoked chicken or an unbelievable steak on the egg. And, our grilling and football segment is brought to you by Wild Turkey 101. How about award-winning bourbon, Wild Turkey 101? Y'all know I like it either neat or with a big rock or just a couple of rocks. Every now and then a splash or two of water. You're talking about the 2021 Ultimate Spirits Challenge, 90 points, Wild Turkey 101. And when you're at the restaurant, you're calling for a Manhattan or an old fashioned, Wild Turkey 101. Think about, Jimmy Russell, legendary master distiller. I've been up to Wild Turkey to pick out Russell's Reserve barrels, and it's just great juice. And so when you're thinking about grilling and football on the back patio or on the deck, it's always good with the glass of Wild Turkey 101. And that would be award-winning Wild Turkey 101 from one of the GOATs, and that would be Jimmy Russell. All right, so I'm your host, Bo Bounds. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app and the zone1059.com. Oh, don't forget, too, Jackson, we want our listeners to call for Wild Turkey when they're at Kessler Prime.
Yeah.
Or when they're hanging out at Commodore Bob's in Starkville and they're ordering that old fashioned or that Manhattan before that bone-in pork chop or porterhouse or ribeye hit the table. You want to call for Wild Turkey Neat 101 or a Wild Turkey 101 old fashioned. So we've got a couple of more guests coming up this morning. Big week. Jackson Meadows mentioned Commanders, Eagles tomorrow.
That's right.
Two former SEC quarterbacks.
That's right.
What a great time to put some meat on the grill and pour some award-winning Wild Turkey 101 and enjoy Jaden Daniels, from LSU and the Commanders, and Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's an NFC East battle right there. And you mentioned also the Chiefs and the Bills will be going head-to-head.
Also, Steelers-Ravens.
Are you serious? We got that trio of games starting Thursday?
Starting Thursday at 12, or at Thursday, and then Sunday, 12 o'clock, Sunday, 3 o'clock. So you get to see all of them. You can pay all of your attention to all
3 huge games.
Massive.
Okay. All right. I love it. I did not realize that. So you got Commanders, Eagles. Holy smokes. You got Chiefs, Bills. And you got Ravens, Steelers. All brought to you by award-winning Wild Turkey 101. And just a ribeye, Pittsburgh rare, medium rare, or some ribs on the grill tomorrow night for that Commanders-Eagles game.
Those are going to do numbers.
Big numbers.
I can't imagine what they're going to be right now. But they're
my gosh. That's beautiful. All right.
Chiefs.
Oh.
Chiefs, Bills.
I've got Chiefs fatigue.
I do too. But they're still going to watch that ball. Everyone will still watch that game.
Heck yeah, they will.
It doesn't matter fatigue or not.
Yeah, look, Mahomes.
You're watching.
Chris Jones. And everything that they do on Kelsey. And no doubt about that.
Josh Allen, maybe must-see football.
Josh Allen is a heck of a player. How about Jared Goff throwing 5 picks and the Lions winning? You think other people around you matter? Can you imagine if another quarterback had thrown 5 picks? And especially one that's just a couple of states over from us? 5 picks and they win. Nothing. That's how our brains are wired as sports fans. He threw 5 picks in the NFL.
And no one has any idea.
Nobody has any idea. Because one, Jared Goff doesn't move the needle. Detroit does. Right. And Dan Campbell as a franchise. But Jared Goff is a mayonnaise sandwich. It's boring. Milquetoast. And look, he's a good football player. That's not what I'm saying. This league is hard. Just because you throw 5 picks doesn't mean you're not good. He is a hell of a football player. But he threw 5 picks and his team won, Jackson.
I had no idea. Had no clue he threw 5.
See? We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by the Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland, right in front of Kroger. Firearms, suppressors, optics. The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland.